Hello! We are back again on your favorite program, TALKSHOP, or just say TS for short, man. And as we say all the time here, this is the platform where we tell it like it is, intelligently, and let the chips fall where they may. And we say all the time, folks, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And the newest command, I'll be joining in. And that's a message to all the people that we call the apostles of Jandam. Apostles of Jandam. You know, your pleasure is to fabricate news just to damage the country's image. So to all you apostles of Jandam, this is my promise. We shall suffocate you with the truth. We'll suffocate you. Okay, folks, okay. And the question is, what time is it? And the answer, of course, is nation time. And before I start quickly, let me say thank you to all of you out there. You're listening, you are flowing, and your remarks just encourage me. Your comments, I mean, really encourage me. And all my brothers and sisters and children in the diaspora, you know, show some love to yourselves, man. Some young guy wrote me from the US. He says, so I'm one of the youth. I live in the US and I really want to go to Ghana. So I'm always watching your show. Big up, man. Don't worry, Ghana will rise again. And very soon, sooner than you think, you come back to Ghana. Show some love for Ghana, man. Okay. No, honestly, whether you like it or not, Ghana is on the rise. Sewumpo. Ghana is on the rise, and nothing will stop this rise. I know people will go and sit down and say, Charlie, what Jandam can we think of? I bet throw out there to muddy the situation. But I'm telling you, the course that Ghana has adapted and is on, it will be very difficult for anybody to throw in any silly Jandam to mess up the direction. Ghana is on the rise, right? Like I say all the time, man, the black star is about, the black star is shining again. Today, you know, folks, all the time we talk about nation building. And I always say that nation building cannot just be a slogan, no. It has to be an agenda. And what worries me is that the political elite do not understand nation building. But when they understand nation building at the top, things will change. And I believe that JM is really keen on building the nation, and I believe that they are focused on resetting to begin with. The agenda to reset the currency is a great agenda. And trust me, gradually, this country is going to be reset. Today, do you know what I want to talk about? I just want to just have a chat with Dr. Bawumia. Master, listen to this, folks. Dr. Bawumia, learned economist professor. I'm adding the word learned because you see what being. A little bit of history. Dr. Bawumia, when Nanado, His Excellency, actually asked you to be his vice, there is no secret about this. There was commotion in the MPP. There was commotion in the MPP. They were saying, where did he come from to come and be the vice? There was all this commotion. And what got all of them to keep quiet? What got all of the MPP said, Charlie, let's keep quiet, was one thing that Nanado said. He said, listen, folks, I know he has not been a card-bearing member and everything, but he understands the economy. If we say we want to build the city, Bawumia is our man.
In Confronts time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong Cedi was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will welcome the Cedi and create again a strong Cedi that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop.
And that is what made all those who were against Bawumia's becoming a vice just shut up, because the point that look, the MPP should come into power and actually strengthen the city, was, I would say, at the base of their desire to come to power. But see, Mr. Bawumia, honestly speaking, and you know it, that the reason you became vice president was predominantly, or should I say, primarily, to strengthen the city. Nana said it. Said by the time you come to power, you do it in such a way that one cedi, $1, $1, one cedi. Do you remember? He said the city had become hata. You were the savior, Dr. Bawumia. Now let me explain why I'm saying all this. It really, for me, very, very, very upsetting to hear you, of all people, that the city that under your watch, learned doctor, rose up all the way to 17 under your watch. Oh, you were the vice president, you were also the head of the economic team. So you introduced a solid team.
When I look at the economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiremanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team.
So, Dr. Bawumia, it was under your watch that the CD escalated all the way to 17 for $1. So it pains me that you at this time is the same person saying, oh, this doesn't mean anything. This is not a reflection of anything. It's just luck. It's just a fortune.
If you ask a simple question to the NDC to point out exactly what policy they have implemented that has resulted in the appreciation of the city, they cannot tell you one that has been implemented. They've not even issued any contracts and paid for anything, pretty much. So you cannot ascribe what is happening to the currency to a policy that they have implemented. There's no such policy that has been implemented that has had that impact.
Dr. Bawumia, please. You got my respect. You earned my respect when you did the courageous thing by conceding early in the election. My respect to Pa. I said, wow, this man loves this nation. Because honestly, without your concession, a lot of instability would have evolved. That would have been bad for the nation. So once you conceded, I said, oh my goodness. Massa, you earned my respect for that. It meant a lot. Okay, that's the one thing. Even when they were inaugurating JM, even the way you went up and actually went to greet him, I was like, this guy, he's obviously a politician with the MPP, but no, the nation here, because the way you went to greet Mahama when he was being inaugurated, it was beautiful. Former vice president who was once campaigning against him, and he's the person you competed with, you went and showed love and greeted him. Beautiful. So, Dr. Bawumia, all I was saying is that I was suspecting you of all people to say, well, let us give praise where praise is due. I don't know what magic the NDC has pulled, but Ghana is now enjoying some stability in the currency, and that means a lot to this nation. You're an economist, sir. You know it. You know it just by the city appreciating alone. Now they say Ghana, just through the appreciation, the amount of debt that Ghana has paid, the equivalent is 150 billion.
Our debt continued to multiply because the cedi continued to grow weaker. And so you needed more cedis. Because our public debt is stated in cedis, the weaker the cedi becomes against the foreign currencies, the higher it pushes up your debt. Fortunately, some measures we put in place have recently begun to show results, and the cedi has been strengthening. And so we've reduced our total debt over the last 5 months by almost 150 billion cedis, which is very significant.
Dr. Bawumia, where Nyefe? So why, because you're an MPP, just insist that, oh, this is nothing, this is a fortune free? It is not right, Doc. Me, I'm advising you because I see you as somebody who, beneath the partisan politics, nation here, that's why you made that early concession. Who believed beneath and underneath the partisan politics, you went to show respect to Mahama, which means to me, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I found fool, but to me, they are assuming that that means that you have some respect for nation building. And you know that on this platform, when you have the respect for nation building, we also respect you back. But but where you're going these days, I feel very, very uncomfortable. It's not just you, but you are the main man of the party. Well, at least you want to be the main man again. I'm sure you're competing with many others. But at least, this whole thing about you don't know how the city, that has nothing to do with anything. It is wrong.
You cannot ascribe what is happening to the currency to a policy that they have implemented. There's no such policy that has been implemented that has had that impact.
Dr. Bawumia and everybody that is listening, all of you who have done economics, me mania economics, so me theater arts and communication. So yeah, maybe I don't know economics, but let me tell you something. All of you people who have done economics, who have done currency, market up and down, let me tell you something. One of the things that helps currency to stabilize or to sort of gain some kind of appreciation, do you know one of the things? People's confidence in the government. Take it or leave it. This is a fact. When a government comes, especially after the 8 years of Dr. Bawumia, after the 8 years that we woke up to amazing levels of economic mismanagement, we woke up to amazing levels of indebtedness, we woke up to our seniors getting a haircut, being punished for the levels of debt that we had, especially after coming after more or less some chaotic mismanagement. When a new government comes in, and even when the people now sense that there's a sense of policy direction change, there's a sense that the direction is not towards wastefulness. The direction is more in terms of sealing the leakages. That alone, folks, sends as business community a signal that actually there's a new sheriff in town and we're doing serious business. That alone can appreciate the currency. Alone, people's confidence in the city. Look, right now when you go to the Forex, they don't want to change it. Do you know what that means? Ghanaians are getting more respect and love for their currency. Ghanaians are respecting our currency. And to the extent that if you have all these dollars, all the people who have plenty of dollars are now scrambling on how they can change these dollars because the way it is appreciating, it is scary. So there's a point I'm making, that when the signals go to the business community, say, Charlie, these things are happening, and it is a sign that the government wants to be more fiscally prudent. That's the first thing. The government in power must be more fiscally prudent. The government does not want to spend on wasted expenditure. As soon as the market gets that signal, it immediately affects the currency. So if you're wondering why in your time, Dr. Bawumia, while the city was 17, are you wondering why? Let me remind you of something you said. You remember what you said? When the fundamentals of the economy are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Menamakai, listen to you.
You can engage in all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
You said this, Dr. Bawumia. So by logic, Ghanaians are getting the sense that the appreciation of the cedi means that the fundamentals are being fixed. Nowhere near fixed yet, no. But the process of fixing the fundamentals have begun. Ghanaians are getting the sense that there's more fiscal discipline. Ghanaians are getting the sense that the looting has reduced. Ghanaians are getting the sense that there is now a policy direction which does not open the door for people to loot left, right, and center recklessly. That, Dr. Bawumia, is a signal that the market has received. And I want to tell you this. Stop talking about there's no policy, there's no policy, there's no policy.
If you ask a simple question to the NDC to point out exactly what policy they have implemented that has resulted in the appreciation of the cedi, they cannot tell you one.
There are policies, but I'm saying even without any policy, the direction alone sends a signal to the market. And once the market receives a certain signal, it affects the currency. When the fundamentals are right, the signals are right. And when the signals are right, it sends right signals to the currency, and the currency appreciates. Those are your own words, not mine. So what is happening is a direct reverse. So, Mr. Your Excellency Bawumia, Charlie, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, crowd, to take up a phone one after forcing. Hey, my brother, what's this magic? That's all I'm saying. At least, even if Ghanaians get the sense, hey, Charlie, you have even called to appreciate something, cry. The respect that you gather from that alone is much, much better than starting on the platform now, working hard to say they have done nothing. No, that is not good. Especially after coming from chaos. If you chaos more, now dollar 17, you have come to another era where it has reduced now 10-ish. You don't get up and rubbish that. You can't. You know, at best you can say, I only hope that it stays that way, because the currency can be tricky. Congratulations, Mayade. Let us hope that it stays that way. But not only hope that it stays that way, if you have any ideas on how it can stay that way, tell them, tell Ghana. Say, Ghana, Charlie, we are in the right direction, or this so far is good, this so far good, but let's make sure we do this and that to keep it there or even keep it lower. That's how we build a nation, folks. When I come and sit there, I say, don't build a nation with this partisan sycophancy and hawk-like mentality. Say, me MPP, me NDC, no, you have to be open-minded. You have to be open-minded and learn to accept success and learn to congratulate success. That's why I always say, you don't quarrel with success. And folks, you know, apart from everything too, what is this whole thing about there has been no policy? E-levy has been scrapped. Yeah, there was a removal of the e-levy. And by the way, the e-levy you yourself was campaigning against it. Say, when you come, you scrap it. They have scrapped it. Is that not a policy? All the punitive taxes that they scrapped, is that not a policy? The fiscal discipline that has been introduced, is that not a policy? So, Masa, I don't get it when you say it is just happening. There's nothing. No, there has been deliberate effort to keep the fiscal policy prudent. And that's a policy. And let me tell you something, not just to my dear friend Dr. Bawumia, but all you economists out there, let me tell you something. Mudiani policy. I think all the MP people who have spoken so far, policy BNO. Let me tell you something, and this is great education coming from a theater as a guru, not economist guru. But listen to this. Credibility and confidence has a way of improving the currency. When there's credibility in what the government is doing, so the people now decide actually there's a direction, there is prudence, the fiscal management. When that alone, the people imbibe that alone can affect the currency. So please stop the policy. Sometimes even in the absence of policy, when they see that the government is very determined to do the right thing, and it gives them confidence, that alone can affect the currency. That is what they call the power of credibility and confidence. If you're a leader and you are ruling and you can generate that kind of power of credibility and confidence in the people, trust me, eventually that has an impact on the currency. Look, folks, let's just be real here. That nothing has happened. Look, the removal of VAT on electricity alone. You know, when people start understanding that I had 1,000 Ghana cedis, this is what I could afford with 1,000 Ghana cedis, and now somehow what I could afford with 1,000 Ghana cedis, I can now get it with 900 or 800. That feeling alone, maybe it's not a policy, but something you have done with the removal of VAT on electricity has led to that. So all I'm saying is this. Look, first of all, let me ask this. Who in this country, and please, those of you who respond to me, you can show me the result. Who in this country is not happy with the Cedi appreciation? Where? And are we saying that all those who are appreciating the fact that the Cedi is showing growth now are NDC? Wouldn't that be the dumbest thing ever for anybody to think? And actually, I don't think anybody is thinking that. So this is my thing. When the thing improves, and as it is now, it is improving for the nation. So why can't we as people in the nation join in and support and make sure that the growth continues? Why even try in your mind? And what will even trigger you in your mind? Actually, let's condemn this. Let's be happy. Say, let's start a new jandam. There's no policy.
Do you know why the Cedi is stable? The Cedi is stable not because Dr. Forson at the finance ministry is doing anything special. It's because government is not spending. It's because contractors are not being paid. It's because there's no liquid in the circulating in the economy.
It's temporal. It is not any economic gurus in this country that is causing the Cedi to appreciate and the dollar to depreciate. It is the wealth market that they are not demanding the dollars as much as they used to. That is why there's no competition, and supply of dollar is exceeding the demand. As simple as that. These are basic economics principles.
But they are not spending. I mean, if you are managing an economy, you have to pay your bills. They are not paying IPPs, for example. This is why the doomsday is so acute. And they are not paying contractors. So when you are not spending, there's less pressure on your currency. So those are some of the reasons why you are seeing an appreciation of the currency. So you cannot ascribe what is happening to the currency to a policy that they have implemented. There's no such policy that has been implemented that has had that impact.
Master, look, nation building gets very, very, very difficult when it gets to the point where you have to admit that we messed up. So when I hear Dr. Bawumia talking about what was that line that I thought was so funny? Oh, NDC did not win the election. We lost.
But problem na MPP vote. Because of share MPP vote we had a decline in our vote about 2.1 million relative to 2020. It is a 2.1 million Ankotwaba. Now Osha John Mahama Odi Kunim with 1.7 million votes. 1.7 million. It is a Ankaya Nipa 2.1 million no. Anka Omobatu Babetu Abano Amaya Ankayedi Kunim easy hands down. Easy hands down. So election no, and your NDC no win election no, your MPP na you lose election.
Oh man, NDC did not win the election. MPP lost.
And your NDC no win election no, your MPP na you lose election.
That's how your own master told you all die be die, all win be win. Whether you win by somebody losing or whatever, it doesn't make sense and nobody cares. And here's the fact, Dr. Bawumia, why did you lose, if you did, why did you lose 1.7 million votes? Because you have done so well? Because Ghanaians are enjoying so well? Because everybody has hope in the future and we have so much hope and we are all energized looking at the future that 1.7 million people decided we won't vote. Well, with all respects, does this logic make sense? So if it is true by your own analysis that they didn't vote, then they didn't vote because of one, complete disappointment. Complete disappointment. And Dr. Bawumia, you know why that disappointment? It's because you guys, when you become leaders, you take your eyes off the ball. It's no longer about the nation, it becomes the party. And that's where you trip, because you lose sight of the nation and what the nation needs. Rather, it's how do you sustain power by the party. When you think that way, you trip. Dr. Bawumia, the sad thing is this: you were in power for 8 years. And throughout that whole 8 years, you were campaigning. Let me give you one last free advice to all of you politicians and body politicians. Look, there are 3 cycles in the life of every political history in the country. 3 cycles. The first cycle is the campaign season. That's the first cycle. And in that season, you campaign. You have a manifesto. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to let Ghana grow. This is how I'm going to fix things. That's the first cycle in the political season. And that's what you talk about. Into election time, all the campaigns up and down is all about how I'm going to build this country. That's the first cycle. The second cycle is that now you have won power. And when you win power, then you enter the third cycle. Do you know what the third cycle is? How you implement all the things in your manifesto that you promise people about, that they vote for you to win. Well, so you do the campaign, they vote for you, and you win. And when you win, that's the third cycle. When you win, 100% of your attention should be focused on all the promises you made. What did you promise the people you do? What did you swear, say, may say, when I come, there'll be this, that. That's all in the second cycle. Sorry, the first cycle. You were campaigning. The second cycle, you have won. The third cycle is now implement all the promises you made. Implement all the promises you made. And then when you implement all the promises you made and we go into the cycle comes again for campaign, then you can stand again and say, we said we'll do this, we have done it. We said we'll do this, we have done that. But When it goes around again and it comes back to the cycle, the first one is campaigning. If you have done everything you promised, just say it. Me boss and me can say, I said I'll do this, I've done it. I said I'll build this, I've built it. And then when you are able to do that, then you go back to the cycle of elections and then you can win or lose. Dr. Bawumia, you lost, or 1.7 million people, like you say, decided not to vote. Do you know why? Because you forgot that when you came to power, you didn't implement everything you said. Why? Because you're still campaigning. You had the power. The power's in your hands. The people are back with the vote. Say, MPP, yeah, the amount, Nanado, Bawumia, you are in power. You had it. And the chance that you had, just implement all the promises. You didn't. So you come back again to that cycle and say, oh, Mufastiano, mami.
Mufastiano, mami. Mumemistiano. Naminchikano. Enko baby, I see a call. Mumemistiano.
Even though we didn't implement Lugu, even though we didn't implement the cathedral that you wanted to build, even though you didn't implement so many of the things that you said you would, we say, Musambu to mami. So, Dr. Bawumia, I just want to explain to you that don't just say 1.7 million people did not vote.
Now, Osha, John Mahama Oti Kunim with 1.7 million votes. 1.7 million. Echrese Antaya Nipa 2.1 million. No, Aka Omobatu, Babetu Abano Amaya, Akayeti Kunim easy, hands down. And yet, NDC no winning election, no. Yeah, MPP na yeah losing election.
And these are, if they had voted, why did they not vote? Because you spend all your time campaigning rather than implementing. So what must I say? Spend all your time. Every time it was NDC, every time it was Mahama. At the time when you had won and you were supposed to be building and making your case to implement your promises, you were still in the campaign mode. Sadly, folks, we have had an election, the NDC is in power, and what? Bawumia is still campaigning. Dr. Bawumia, you are still campaigning. You're still going from there, let's go and thank people. What, you're going to thank the 1.7 million people who didn't vote for you? What was the point? You were in the campaign mode. This is when you say, let's go around. And I think now, I mentioned this one time on my show that what you should be doing is apologizing and not saying thank you. I mentioned it on this talk shop. So I was glad when I heard that you have rendered an apology and it's now an apology, you know. But please, the cycle we are in now, we have come out of a very, 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 very murky times. I'm sorry to say. We have come out of a very murky times. We have come out of a disastrous mismanagement. And then we have entered an era where people seem to believe that there is some direction. And the proof of that is that the Cedi is appreciating. So we are in a new season. This is not the season to start campaigning. Please, move from the campaign mode. Shift from the campaign mode. Get into the nation building mode. Say, well, whatever you did, policy behind whatever it did, the Cedi is appreciating. That is good for the economy. 150 billion of our debt has just been erased because of the Cedi improving.
Fortunately, I mean, some measures we put in place have recently begun to show results, and the Cedi has been strengthening. And so we've reduced our total debt over the last 5 months by almost 150 billion Cedis, which is very significant.
And imagine it, if it continues to go like this.
And so if that trajectory continues, the target of reaching 55 to 58% debt sustainability by 2028 will be reached by the end of this year. And that means that it gives us fiscal space to begin to invest in the most productive sectors of the economy.
Which you were not able to pay while in office. So folks, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't hurt anything for Dr. Bawumia to say, oh, Charlie, yeah, this is whatever. But nation building, and the reason why many people don't understand is because we are partisan and we have to display sycophancy and loyalty to our party. I'm talking about all the parties. When we can get to the point where we realize actually, say we have reached the stage where the whole nation is benefiting, all of us should stay focused and make sure that we stay the course. It is for that reason that in my next episode too, I'm going to be having some very good advice for the NDC. Because the city is appreciating and things are looking very good. Prices are falling, everybody will be energy, there's sort of exuberance, vibrancy in the system. But NDC, don't let that mistake you into thinking, no, it has just begun. We are nowhere near we are finished though. It has just begun. Your Excellency has set the ball rolling that let's reset Ghana. And he has started resetting Ghana by improving and making our currency appreciate. It has started. We are now to build on it. So in my next one that I'll be doing, I'll be pointing out the NDC, don't let this let you slip into arrogance. Because you'll be surprised how quickly things can change when you adopt the arrogant posture and start being complacent. So stay the focus. Stay the focus. And I don't want to do the next show yet. May I enter into that? But for today, folks, all I'm saying is this. The currency is improving. It is improving for the entire country. It is improving for our business people. It is improving for our investors. It is improving for anything that is good that will move this country forward. So let's all support it. Is that so difficult? And things are clearly improving. I just read, how even the building materials, they decided that they have to bring their prices down. The importation of cars, the value of the city is making that come down. Folks, transport tests are coming down. I was saying, dudes, tractor drivers, even transport tests are coming down. Now, let me ask one quick question before I leave here. If you're going to buy a building material, do they ask you to submit your party card? And they okay, you're NDC and you are qualified, come and buy. Oh, you're MPP, you are not qualified, we can't sell. Does that happen? No, that doesn't happen. So all these things I'm talking about that are benefiting the country are benefiting Ghanaians. It's not benefiting NDC supporters and all that crap. So please, let's stay the focus. If we have seen the signs that the people are displaying more confidence and credibility in our currency, so that has started, let us take that as a reset and build on it. So until we come back your way the next time, where we focus on where we are and how we should keep the focus, let me say and end like I always do, folks. But the science is there. The black side is rising again. And trust me, Ghana will rise again.